Good morning. Today we've got a weather front slipping southwards, taking its cloud, patchy rain and murky conditions with it. So the brightest and driest and sunniest conditions for the longest will be in the southeast quarter of the UK. I'll have all the details coming up. Absolutely right, Dan. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful start to the day for many of us, but a chilly one where it was mild yesterday and a mild one where it was chilly yesterday. Now, this is one of our Weather Watchers' pictures from this morning. It's from Sefton in Merseyside, and you can see beautiful blue skies. Now, that may well change for you as we go through the day, because we do have a cloud across Scotland and Northern Ireland. That's sinking south through the course of the day, and we'll see that get in towards Merseyside. But for southern England, the Channel Islands, into the southeast, we're looking at a fair bit of sunshine. Temperatures picking up quite quickly. Then as we run into Northern Ireland, the far north of England and Scotland, there's a bit more cloud around for some patchy rain and some murky conditions as well, some coastal mist and some hill fog. So you can see the progress that the cloud makes, eventually getting into Northern England and Wales with its rain. Ahead of it for the rest of the Midlands, for the southeast of Wales and southern counties, we're looking at that sunshine hanging on. Temperatures going up to 22 degrees in Hull today. That's 72 Fahrenheit in Old Money. Now, pollen levels today are high across Scotland, England and Wales, so it's something to bear in mind if you have an allergy to, especially grass pollen at this time of year. Through this evening and overnight, our weather front continues its descent, moving slowly southeastwards, taking its cloud and its murk with it. By the end of the night, we'll have a new weather front coming in across the northwest. That's going to introduce heavier and more persistent rain. But as you can see across the board, temperatures are more or less in double figures, so it's not going to be a cold night. I'll have a longer forecast with more details looking further into the week in about half an hour. But for now, back to Lou and Dan.
Thank you. See you in half an hour. Thank you.
Good morning. This is quite exciting as well today. We've got a real variety of weather. You can see blue skies here in Greater London, sent in by one of our weather watchers. It's a beautiful start. Temperatures picking up quite nicely now after what was a cold start. These are the latest temperatures. So in St Mary's, it's 14 degrees. And it's also 14 degrees in Kinloss. In Wales and Aberporth, it's 10. And in Birmingham, it is 11. So you see what I mean. But we do have a fair bit of cloud around, some patchy rain as well, and some drizzle, courtesy of this weather front, which is sinking southwards. The best of the weather today, if you like the sunshine, will be across southern and eastern areas, because all this cloud, patchy rain, some coastal and hill fog and mist is going to sink southwards. So eventually you will see it in northwest England and also into Wales as well. Brighter skies though, following on across the northeast of Scotland. Here we could have highs into the low 20s, Aberdeen 18, the top temperature Birmingham and London at about 21 or 22. But with it comes high pollen across parts of Scotland, England and Wales. And at this time of year, it's especially grass pollen that is prolific. Now, through this evening and overnight, we watch this weather front sink southwards, taking its cloud and patchy rain and generally murky conditions along with it. Behind it, a new weather front comes in, and that's going to introduce more persistent and heavier rain. As a result, it's not going to be a cold night. Most places staying in double figures. And for some in the south, compared to last night, there'll be a good 9 or 10 degree hike up in temperatures. So as we go overnight and into Thursday, you can see how our weather front continues to sink south as a weak feature. The front coming into the north is actually a waving front. So that's going to have more impact in the south of England, where we'll have a bit more cloud and patchy rain than we're looking at today. Behind it for North Wales and Northern England, southern Scotland for a time too. There will be some sunshine. And here's our waving front, basically doing a bit of this. So it is bringing in some heavier and more persistent rain. Temperatures, well, we're looking at 12 to about 21 degrees, but you will notice that humidity levels will be starting to rise. Now, as we move through Thursday night and into Friday, there goes our first front as a weak feature. Here's the waving front coming south. It curls round into the north of Scotland, where it will also produce some spots of rain. So we're also going to have quite a murky day, a lot of cloud around. It'll be humid in places. We'll have some rain in the south. We'll have some rain in the north. In between, there will be some sunshine coming through though, and temperatures 12 in Lerwick, 17 in Glasgow and Newcastle, but the top temperature is likely to be in London, and that is likely to be around about 21 degrees, which in Old Money is 70 Fahrenheit. Lou and Dan.
And it's new money
time of year.
So Carol's very clever. She's throwing in new money, knowing full well that you've actually got new money in the studio
right
today.
Here.
I've asked if I can have a little look at that £50 note, but
Oh, bless you. Today we've got a weather front slipping southwards, taking and light rain with it, murky conditions too. The best of the sunshine will be across parts of eastern England, central and southeastern areas, as well as southern areas. But I'll have all the details coming up. To you too. It is a beautiful start to the day for some of us, but as always the case, it's not all of us. We've got some rain heading southeastwards. It's across Scotland, Northern Ireland and parts of Northern England at the moment. But south of that, after a cold start, temperatures now recovering. Here's where we've got the sunniest skies. So you can see where we've got the rain. It's not particularly heavy, but it is advancing southeastwards. And you can see it's moving across Cumbria at the moment and also northwest Wales. A lot of cloud, some hill fog and coastal mist associated with this as well. And slowly through the day, that cloud ahead of it will edge into the North Midlands and the rest of Wales, followed by the rain. So as we push to all points south and east, that's where we'll have the sunshine. Although having said that, across parts of northeast Scotland this afternoon, we should see some sunshine and temperatures could get up in that sunshine as high as 21 degrees. But generally, if you're in the cloud and the rain, temperatures will be that bit lower, 15 or 16. If you're in the sunshine, 20 or 21. Now, through this evening and overnight, eventually our weather front makes it down towards the south, taking its cloud and patchy rain with it. Once again, associated with this, there'll be some murky conditions, hill fog, coastal mist, and by the end of the night we'll have a new weather front coming in across the northwest. That is going to introduce heavier and more persistent rain. Temperatures, well, for most we're in double figures more or less across the board, so it's going to be a milder night tonight than it was last night in the south. Then as we head on into tomorrow, well, we start off with a little bit of brightness in the southeast, but our weak weather front continues to journey steadily southwards, taking its cloud and patchy rain with it. Behind that, we are looking at some sunshine coming out across northern England, North Wales, and for a time southern Scotland. But in the north, we do have this waving weather front, and that waving weather front is going to produce some heavy and persistent rain. It will feel quite humid in places during the course of Thursday as well, with our temperature range 12 in the north, 21 in Aberdeen, 21 in Birmingham and also in London. Lou and Dan.
Carol, thank you very much. See you later. Thank you. Go again.
Good morning, both. Good morning to you too. Now, some of us in the north started off on a very mild note. Some of us in the south started off on a cold note. But temperatures are now rising quite nicely. And north to south, this is roughly what you can expect, between about 11 and 15 degrees. 15 in Inverbervie is in northeast Scotland. What we have is this weather front sinking southwards. It's produced a fair bit of cloud, some rain, some mist and some coastal fog across Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England already. And what it's going to do is continue to sink southwards across other parts of England and also Wales through the day. So it's the further south and east that you are where you'll hang on to the lion's share of the sunshine. But it should brighten up across the northeast of Scotland through the day as well. And here temperatures will respond. We could hit 22 around Kinloss, for example. But top temperatures today in Hull and London at 22. Now, pollen levels are higher today than they were yesterday, high across parts of Scotland, England and Wales. And it is grass pollen that is particularly prevalent currently. Now, through this evening and overnight, our weather front continues its slow descent southwards, doesn't quite make it into the far southeast, and behind it, a new weather front comes into the northwest, introducing some heavier and more persistent rain. And as you can see from the temperatures, while most of us staying in double figures, much milder in the south where we've got the cloud cover tonight than it was last night, but where the cloud remains broken, it will be that bit cooler. So tomorrow, here is our weather front, still making slow progress, pushing down towards the southeast. This front in the north is a waving front, so it's doing a bit of this, and it is still bringing in some cloud and also some heavier and more persistent rain. And as this second weather front continues its journey southwards, it will eradicate the bright start in the southeast, but behind it, it will brighten up across northern England, North Wales, and for a time southern Scotland. And here in the sunshine is where we'll have the highest temperatures, about 22 degrees. But one thing you'll notice on Thursday is humidity once again is starting to rise. Now, overnight Thursday into Friday, we say goodbye to that front. We still have this waving front. Watch how it curls all the way back into Scotland and Northern Ireland. So for southern England, it will be cloudy, it will be damp, it will be wet, there'll be some rain. And as we follow that curl round, there'll also be more cloud and rain getting in across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. But in between, once again, we're looking at some sunshine. Still feeling humid in places with our temperature range 12 to about 21 degrees. As for the weekend, well, England and Wales likely to see some showers, some rain on and off at times, whereas for Scotland and Northern Ireland, you're likely to see some drier conditions as a ridge of high pressure builds in. Lou and Dan.
Thank you very much for that, Carol.
Tea.
Oh, that's it, the voice.